2019 was a great year for boxing. One of the fights of the year was Josh Taylor, Regis Prograis, where Josh Taylor established himself as the number 140-pound fighter in the world with a thrilling 12-round points win over Prograis. And we are happy to welcome into Max on Boxing now. Everyone knows top-ranked fighters are on ESPN, as fighters are siloed with different networks. And Top Rank just signed Josh Taylor, one of the, I think, Josh, 10 best pound-for-pound fighters in the world right now. Welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks very much. Thanks for the introduction. That was really good. Really good to hear that. Thank you very much.
What was the good part? What did you like hearing?
I like the pound-for-pound bit. You know, I've always wanted to be involved in the pound-for-pound, so I like that. So thanks very much.
Do you think you deserve that now? Do you think you're, I would have you right around 10, but do you think you deserve to be mentioned among the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world?
Yeah, I think so. I think given my last three performances, they've been against great fighters, you know, so I do believe, and I've put in great performances as well, so I do believe I kind of half deserved to be in the 10. So yeah, number 10. I'll not argue with that. I'm not arguing with that. So yeah, I'm happy.
So the Regis Prograis fight, let's start there, and we're going to get into if we can expect to see you fighting on this side of the pond anytime soon, and who you'd like to fight, and who's calling you out already. But let's start with the Prograis fight, because you're an undefeated fighter. You have a belt. You beat Baranchik. Everyone respects you. I respected you, but I saw you as like a normal good fighter. And I looked at Prograis, and he had some of these, he had a little more electricity, it seemed to me, when he fought. I thought of him as with higher upside than you, and I thought he'd beat you. You proved me wrong. You won the fight decisively. The right hand to the body, I thought, was the deciding shot. I don't mean any one of them. I mean your consistency, snaking that right hand down there, and proved yourself the number 140-pounder in the world. Why do you think you were the underdog in that fight, the only time in your career?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Even through my amateur career, I always seem to have been the underdog going into tournaments and going into fights. Right the way through, right up until almost the Postal fight, I'd been sort of like known as an underdog and coming in under the radar. Never really got great exposure until my last couple of fights, until I beat Postal. That sort of put me on the world map, I believe. And then obviously beat Baranchik and then beat Prograis. So now I'm getting the recognition and the exposure I think I deserve. So yeah, I'm glad to have proved you wrong. I always knew I could win the fight, and in respect to Prograis as well, he was a great fighter. He gave me a tough fight. So yeah, it was. I enjoyed every minute of it. It was a real good fight. Yeah.
I didn't see it as a knock against you. I thought, as many did, no, Josh Taylor can fight. This is a real guy. But that's how high the opinion of Prograis was, which obviously makes the win for you even bigger. Do you feel that you have established that you are the number one fighter in the division, or is there anyone out there that you think you still have to fight to prove that?
Yeah, I believe after that fight, I've proved that I am number one in the division. Also, there is the other fighter there that's got the two other belts, in José Ramírez. So obviously that I would want to go and fight him next, or as soon as I can. You know, as soon as possible. He's got to fight Postal on the 1st of February. So hopefully he comes through that, or whoever comes through that, I get the winner of that, and prove that I am the number one in the division. You know, and unify all the belts, and be the first guy to do it in Scotland since the great Ken Buchanan. So that's a goal. A short-term goal of mine is to unify all the belts and prove that I am the number one in the whole of the division.
Ken Buchanan, the great lightweight champion, who Roberto Duran, the greatest lightweight ever according to many, won the title from at Madison Square Garden with a savage low blow, in fact, that really should have been a DQ for Duran, with Buchanan winning the fight. Since I set a trap you walked right into that Prograis never could set. You mentioned José Ramírez. I want you to listen to this sound.
I seen Taylor fight. He's a great fighter. So he has two belts. But I know once I'm in there, I could see him respecting me more than what I would respect him.
In your mind, does the fight with Josh Taylor have to happen?
Yeah, it has to. It has to for the fans. It has to for the division of the 140 pound.
That was José Ramírez talking to our own Mark Kriegel. What are your thoughts about what he said and of José Ramírez, the fighter?
Yeah, listen, I respect José Ramírez. Of course, he's a world champion, you know, and he also has to respect me as well. I've got the other 2 belts. I believe I'm the best fighter in division. Also, he's got a fighter's heart, a champion mindset as well. So he also believes that he's the best. So, like he says, yeah, the fight has to happen. You know, now I think we're both under the same banner now. So is that correct?
Yep.
Yeah, so we're both on the same banner now. So there's no reason why the fight can't get made at all. You know, there's no politics that are going to get involved in boxing now to make this fight happen. So there's absolutely no reason why it can happen, and hopefully it happens as soon as possible. So yeah, I want to prove I'm the best, and he wants to prove he's the best. So yeah, let's get on. Yeah, let's get on.
Josh, a couple of things about that. Number one, if you have all the belts, if you're the man and there's nowhere else to go at 140 pounds, when you think of the stars at lightweight, for example, like Lomachenko, Teofimo Lopez is challenging Lomachenko next, and some of the guys who might want to move up, they'd all have to come see you. You would be the man who would make the big fights in that weight division if anyone wanted a belt to be considered champion. How important is that to you?
Listen, I just want to fight whoever's the best and the best challenges out there. I want to challenge myself all the time. You know, I'm always driving to go bigger and better, and something to drive for, and something to be sort of have the fear factor. I need to kind of have the fear factor, you know. And so I always want a big challenge. So whoever brings the biggest challenge, that's who I want to face. You know, if I win all the belts, and fight whoever wants to come up, or even myself move up in weight to 147. So and challenge myself up at that weight as well, and hopefully win a title up there as well. So the door is wide open for me for massive opportunities and huge fights both in the UK and America. So I'm just looking forward to the future, and I can't wait to get going. I really can't wait to get going.
Well, we can't wait to see it. Ramírez, by the way, seems like the logical fight. Is there any danger for you? You know, you were technically not the underdog as a pro until you fight Prograis, but you were flying under the radar, as you mentioned. Is there any danger for you, a guy who kind of sees himself as, hey, I'm flying under the radar, people don't see me coming, fighting a guy like Ramírez, who looks like an action fighter? I used to call him a good TV fighter, much like you. Yeah. I didn't really believe I was watching a dominant world champion until he started beating guys one after another and kept looking better and better. Is there any danger for you fighting a guy like that? A guy who people have kind of underestimated?
No, I think there's no danger at all. In fact, I relish the challenge. You know, I think it'll bring the best of me, because he certainly comes to fight. And I've proved in my last 2 fights, when the guy comes to fight, I can step up to the plate and put on a performance. I can change the way I fight as well. I'm very adaptable. I believe I can fight any way the fight goes. So I believe that Ramírez is going to come looking for me. He's an all-action offensive fighter as well. So I believe it's got the makings of a great fight, and definitely fireworks involved. So I believe it's tailor-made for me, this fight. I believe stylistically it's tailor-made, and I think it will be a great fight, and one I believe that I'll come out on top of.
Josh, the average man in the street in the UK knows more boxing than the average guy in the street in the United States. They're more into it. There's like a passion there, and consequently, since you're from Scotland, you would think that that's not a hard thing to do, to make big fights in your own backyard. But do you feel, here we are on American television, do you feel the need, as many fighters have expressed in the past from overseas, that you want to make it in America, that you want to fight over here?
Yeah, of course, I'd love to fight in America. I've fought there 3 times now, on the undercard of Carl Frampton on his fights, and it just fed the bug even more to be involved in these big fights and see my name in the big bright lights in Vegas or the Madison Square Garden. You know, that's what most fighters, or near enough every fighter, dreams of in the UK when they turn pro. Or even as amateurs, they want to fight in America and see their name in bright lights. So, yeah, of course I want to do that, and it would be another dream come true and one ticked off the list again. But obviously, if I could get the fights, these big fights in Scotland, and give my home fans and my home country, you know, massive fights and massive nights, I'd love to do it in Scotland, preferably in you know, Edinburgh Castle, with the castle in the background at night in the summer. You know, that would be a real historic event. But you know, we just see whatever comes, and if it's in America, then I'm happy to come to America as well and fight under those big bright lights and bring hopefully the Tartan Army and a big support over from Scotland and the UK right over to America. So yeah, I'm open for anything. So yeah, can't wait.
In your dream scenario, who's that fighter that you're fighting with Edinburgh Castle in the background?
Well, yeah, I would obviously love to get the Ramírez fight. That's the biggest fight for me, and my big goal at the minute is to get the Ramírez fight, or the Postal. If Postal comes through, it'll be Postal. So that would be the fight I would want to have at the Castle, the biggest one I could possibly have at the minute. So yeah, that would be one of the two guys, whoever comes through that one. Yeah.
Postal, you already beat Postal, Josh. We don't want to see a rematch. We want to see you in with Ramírez. Forget about Postal.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know I've already beaten Postal, but you know, boxing, anything can happen. It only takes one punch, you know. So if Postal,
yeah, you're saying whoever earns it.
It'll be an upset if Postal wins it. But if it does, then he's got the other two belts. So then, therefore, he's my target again, and I want to fight him and get the other two belts. So whoever wins that fight is the aim for me to go and have that fight.
Josh, Terence Crawford, Vasyl Lomachenko, Tyson Fury, Naoya Inoue, and now Josh Taylor. I think that Top Rank here at ESPN now has 5 of the best 10 pound-for-pound fighters in the world all in one place. So we're thrilled to have you and look forward to your fights. Why did you sign with Top Rank?
Just purely the fact that they've got the biggest platform in boxing, I think, you know, and you know, as you said, they've got all the big fighters, all the big names in there, so there's a potential for there to take my career to the next level and get them massive fights, either over here or in America. I'm going to be hopefully involved in huge fights now, and this is what I always dreamed for, so it was a no-brainer when it came about, and I grabbed it with both hands. So yeah, I'm super excited to get going, and I can't wait to see what the future holds.
Can't wait to see you and José Ramírez for all the marbles at 140. Josh, thanks for joining us.
Thanks very much. Thanks for having me. Cheers.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.